Hi, I'm Mike Bjorkman with Home Smart Real Estate.
And I'm Tammy Edwards with Team Bjorkman. Today I want to talk about new construction, Mike, because more and more we're having clients asking to see new construction, but more importantly, we're hearing from clients after they've gone to new construction, purchase without their representation, and they're going, wait a minute, what's going on? I think I'm being taken advantage of here. So I wanted to talk directly to that.
Okay,
what do you have to say?
That makes great sense. We're in Santa Clarita, which is a great place for us to live because we are expanding for a long time. Ever since the early 90s when I got into the business, we've been building. You know, I watched Newhall Ranch and the Summit and Westridge, all this stuff build. And we're also fortunate enough to build with very cooperative, understanding builders that realize the value of a real estate agent. And what you said is exactly right, because sales agents that are sitting at the builder's lot, they are expected to do or say whatever it takes to get a buyer to buy one of their lots. Now, what a buyer doesn't understand, what you need to understand is we can help out in a lot of different ways. The biggest thing is our relationships with the sales agents there. We know of lots that aren't on the market. Because of our relationships, we know when things fall out of escrow, because let's face it, when you're buying new construction, there's only a few things. There's lot, how big your lot is or how small or what location on a cul-de-sac. There's upgrades. You know, what is the builder going to do to make my house really, really nice? And if I want to upgrade it, how much are they going to charge me? You know, those types of things make buyers very nervous.
Is that negotiable?
Yeah, and we're going to get to that right now. And then the last thing is closing costs. So when we go to represent a buyer, we're going to help write their contract, but we're also going to negotiate in the buyer's behalf. We're going to say, look, we want 3% closing cost credit. So my buyer can use that money to upgrade their home, put their landscaping in, put window blinds up, upgrade their appliances, whatever. A lot of the builders do put a lot of nice things in, but when you walk into a house, let's face it, instead of no blinds, you want plantation shutters. So I think you get the idea. The other thing is we can help negotiate those upgrades. Not only do we want the closing cost credit, but we might want a $20,000 or $30,000 credit to put in landscaping. And the sales agents might not always tell you that's possible, but since we've been doing it for so long, we know it's possible, and we know that's in their budget to do that. Obviously, they're not going to tell you that. So the lots are really important too, because they know it's harder to sell the busier streets or the smaller yards, so they'll push that and say, yeah, this is the only one available, or this is a time frame where it's going to be available. And us with our relationships or knowing better, we can say, no, I want lot 71. When is that done? Get your building manager on the phone right now. If we were to buy that today, can you push it up 3 months? A lot of times we can do that things. And then really important is during the home build, we go and do inspections. We watch. When we do the walkthrough, we'll go through with stickers and help the buyer fix those things. And honestly, sometimes buyers just say, oh, it's good enough. It's never good enough when you're spending $500,000 or more in Santa Clarita to buy a home. We can often bring our own home inspectors in there. We can do things like pre-wiring and get permission from the builder. So if you wanted that surround sound and you want to do your own, I mean, the list goes on and on. So what do you think the biggest question is we get from a buyer when they're thinking of using an agent?
When they're thinking of using an agent for?
One of us.
How are you going to get paid?
Right. That's the key thing. The builders, what they have is they have a fund set aside. It's kind of what we call an operating account for the builder. All their homes, when they build out their performas, have a certain amount of closing cost credit, certain amount of upgrade credits, and commission accounts for us licensed agents, because they know they need us. So when a buyer says, am I going to have to pay more because you're getting paid? Absolutely untrue, and absolutely not. Has nothing to do with that. So we got to be very careful when we think that. So again, the seller pays for us, you get the representation, and you couldn't ask for a better scenario. That is the way to buy a home. Just like if you were going to buy a resale, we protect you in all those different ways. Something you just said made me think of one other thing.
I want to talk about home inspection again really quick, because a home inspector said to me the other day that when he does new construction, he finds a minimum of 20 items on a new construction home. And my buyer was really surprised by that. Well, but it's new construction. I mean, there shouldn't be anything wrong with it. And the inspector said, well, yeah, you would think that, and that's why it's so important.
It's very important, and I probably should have emphasized more on that. Let's put it this way. Let's say you're buying a Ford, comes off an assembly line, they're knocking it out, they get paid based on their quotas, how many they can get out. If you buy a Bentley, handmade with precision, everything's tested, the finest materials. So you got to kind of look at it that way. And if it's coming off an assembly line, the chances of mistakes are much greater.
Good analogy. I like that.
Awesome. How do these great people get a hold of you?
You can reach me at Tammy at SantaClaritaRealEstate.com or on my cell at 661 888-373-5595.
And my cell is 661-212-8075. Email me, Mike at SantaClaritaRealEstate.com. And if you'd like a list of all the new construction in Santa Clarita, contact us. We'll get that out to you right away. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.